Hi again. This is just an addendum to the previous recording. Just a couple of things that I forgot to mention that are kind of important. So over the last few years, right, I've seen, and this is an observation. I don't know exactly if this is the case, right, but it seemed odd to me. Uh, so I could make the connection, right? Like I think I understood what it is. So over the last few years, I've noticed that in this area, some of the Amazon trucks have a device on the roof. So these Amazon trucks are very tall. Like if you think about it, right? Compares, I mean, in relation to the length of the truck, they're super tall, right? And it's almost impossible to see what is on top of that roof because they're too tall, unless you are in a two-story house or a building, right? But if you're on the ground, even if you look the truck in front of you, you won't be able to see what is in the middle of the roof of the truck. So, but I've seen a few times over the last few years that some of these trucks have an object on the top that it's always rotating at a constant speed. And recently, there was one day, one of these days last week, we're desperate, right, to see what I was doing with the super ear, and they brought two of these trucks with the rotating object on top. And I've been looking, and this is something that not all Amazon trucks have. It's not a standard equipment. Like it's not like 100% of the trucks have this. Some of the trucks in this area have it, but not all of them. And this reminded me of that rotating object that my neighbors, the Chinese safe house at Lake One Estate, have in the barbecue kitchen on the backyard. They also have a rotating object that is always rotating when I'm running in the backyard. And the speed of rotation seems very similar. I tried to measure it with the camera. Like I took a video of the Amazon trucks and I took a video of the rotating object at Lake One Estate. And the rotation, the angular speed measured by software is not the same, but it's very similar, right? So it's possible that this is the same technique of interception that I suspect they use with the devices on the tires of the cars, right? Um, and this is important because it's Amazon trucks, right? If this is the case, it's a corporation, right? It's not a private individual. So I don't know. It would be interesting to see what those devices on top of some of those Amazon trucks do, right? And to see if those are really Amazon trucks, because it's possible that it's even the saving that makes these trucks look like Amazon trucks, but they're not really Amazon trucks, right? Like it's possible, right, that they're disguised as Amazon trucks, but they are saving trucks, right? And maybe that's why some of them have the thing rotating and the real trucks don't have it, right? I don't know. Like that's something that authorities should look into, right? Like if they have the resources to look into that. But it could be a gold mine because there's a lot of those trucks that don't have it, and some of the trucks have it, right? So that's the rotating objects. And the other thing is the self-healing uh, tire pressure system of my truck. This is a super funny story, right? I recounted, and it's in the book, how in one of the occasions that I went to the federal court downtown Houston, as I was inside of the court, they did something to the car and they tampered with the brake system, with the tire pressure system, right? The system that measures the pressure of the air in the tires, right, as you drive. I believe that what they did is that they remove one cable and use the power that powers that sensor to power a bug or a transmitter or a GPS, whatever, right? So it's always power. So they were they were using the power of this control system to power a bug. And because the computer of the car doesn't recognize this device, it gave me an error. Like I had this light in the dashboard saying that the tire was flat, right? That I had a flat tire. It didn't tell me which one, but it told me that I had a flat tire all the time. And the tires had air, right? But it's because they connected something that is not really a sensor, right? The computer doesn't recognize it as a sensor. But anyhow, the day that I went, so what I did with Morgan Heibner, right? After I found the evidence on the 387 court of the fraud against the two courts, simultaneous fraud, I went and filed that evidence with the federal court, right? When I did that, and I came out of the federal court, minutes after I filed that, the light that had been on for 2 months at this point, I think, saying that I had a flat tire disappeared. It's like the vehicle healed itself at that moment. I imagine that they saw that I filed that because they saw that I requested the document in the morning, right? And I went to the federal court. Yeah, and they must have people, in the federal system as well, right? I don't know how many, but they have some, right? They probably saw what I filed, and they had this already planned. This plan to remove the bug, right? In case the FBI comes and talks to me, right, and inspects the vehicle. But it was impressive, right? Like the speed of the deployment of this. The moment I came out of the court, and I have to tell you, I've been trying to turn off that light for 2 months. I've done multiple attempts to try to find what is that they put in that, and I can't find it. Right? It's well disguised. What it was well disguised, right? I couldn't see, and I look for things that look newer than the rest of the vehicle when looked from underneath, right? But like these are intelligence services, right? I'm sure they made it look like in a way that is consistent with the use and wear and tear of that vehicle, right? It's impossible to find. And I've tried. Like I poured water on it. I blew air with a air pistol to try to find. I couldn't, right? And I haven't been able to turn off that light for 2 months because it's annoying to me, right? I wanted to turn it off, and I haven't been able to. But as the solution to turn off the light was to file the proof of the fraud of Morgan Heibner. That turned off the light immediately. It could also be that the sensor, they can turn it off remotely, right? Maybe what they didn't remove it, but turn it off, right? But anyhow, the light is now off, right? And it only came off, it only went offline the moment I filed that document with the court. So it's with the federal courts, right? So I think it's important to also say that. Well, yeah, I'm gonna close this session now. But those two things, are very important to say. Thank you so much again, and good night. Bye bye.